And Drew, while you're unmuted, why don't you just stay unmuted? We'll get into prospect of the week. I see you've got Matthew Schwartz listed as your guy.
Yeah, so I know you guys went 2026 heavy on this one. I wanted to give some 25 some love still. So we had an unsigned senior, Matthew Schwartz. I was digging through the rankings. Let me pull up the info I have on him here, but he's a left outfielder. Goes to Monticello High School. So Gavin, I know you got a lot of looks at him, just tracking down Luke Teschke, Ike Young. But I really like the left-handed swing, controls the barrel, uses the whole field. He's a three-sport athlete, just looking at his Twitter, his X, baseball, basketball, football. He's a 6.99 runner, 84 from the outfield, 87 exit velocity. I just think he's a good player. Hard to find left guys still on the market, right now. It's pretty late, especially a guy that maybe can slot in or profile at the top of the order. So Matthew Schwartz, Monticello, unsigned senior, that was my prospect of the week.
And then Pete, I see you've got Jack Slydom on here.
Yeah, Slydom, he was a pretty big name walking around the state games this year just after his performance. He's a younger looking guy. Like, the face looks really young. That's kind of what we had talked about, Drew. I forget what call that was, but that was what really stood out about him. The young look, 6'3", 185. You can just tell there's a lot more still left in there. But the way he moves down the mound, you can project a lot on that too, and the arm action, really easy, really whippy. But it's 4 pitches for strikes. He's got a fastball up to 88, like a shorter, tighter curveball, a little cutter, and then a really hard-running changeup too that he can throw for strikes, and he'll throw it to a lot of lefties. But yeah, he made his rankings debut not long ago, and yeah, we expect him to have a big spring this year.
I think he is a sleeper, Peter, for having a huge spring. I'm a big fan of Jack Slydom. I thought you hit it right on the head. Can't wait to see what he does for Lyons Township.
My prospect of the week this week is Jake Matisse out of Mount Carmel. 2026, listen, Mount Carmel's got a ton of arms, whether it's Ian Tosi, Connor Ellenteni, and now Jake Matisse. This is a guy I've been high on for a few years. First saw him, I'll never forget, summer tournament up in Wisconsin. I'm watching him pitch at Milkman Stadium, and I'm like, man, the operation, everything's right. He moved really well down the mound. He was maybe only 79 to 80. He wasn't blowing away anybody with the fastball, but it looked like a kid who really just knew how to pitch. And from there, I've just been a big fan ever since. It's kind of like a running joke in our ecosystem here. Like, anytime Jake Matisse does something, I'm always paying attention to it. He's one of my, just personal favorite guys that I've scouted since I've been doing this. But just a little bit more on him. He's 6'1", 190. Like I said, just a really clean operation. Moves well down the mound. Looks really athletic. Like, if you went and watched him, you'd think he plays basketball or something. Drew's mentioned to me in the past, he just looks really bouncy. Has that bouncy athleticism. And then, he can throw 3 pitches for strikes. Right now with the fastball, last time we saw him at state games, it was 82 to 85, but can really pitch. And he's kind of like a silent assassin out there, competitor-wise. He's not one of those guys who's going to come off the mound screaming after a big strikeout. It's just a very quiet confidence, man on a mission out there. And, just big fan. Been a big fan for a while, and I'm excited to see him this spring.
And no, you mentioned I didn't even know he was the position player, Tyler. And I went to see Mount Carmel last year, and I'm watching pregame. Pregame's one of my favorite parts of when you go to a game to get to watch. And he's over there at third base, showing actions, bouncing around. And we had already liked him a lot to begin with, but that just continued to kind of elevate what I thought of him. And then the little videos that I've kind of seen from coming out this winter, it looks like he has taken a little bit of a jump. So definitely a guy that I think could be like a pick to click for coming out of one of our all states this winter, and going to spearhead, that legit caravan pitching rotation that they'll have this year.
My uncommitted prospect of the week is right-handed pitcher Ryan Harris out of Stevenson. He's a 2026, and I honestly have not seen a ton of him other than what happened at the state games, where he just comes out of nowhere, seemingly, and he's throwing, up to 92 with his fastball. It's sat 87 to 91, threw a slider at 73 to 77, and then a changeup at 84 to 86. and he's a loose, easy mover. He's got a really quick arm, and there's room for development physically. He's 6'2", 184 pounds, but it looks like he's got a lot of room for strength still to come. But that's really all I've got on him. He's an uncommitted right-handed arm, and I don't know if any of you guys have seen him outside of our state games this year, but it was really impressive.
Well, Gav, he's always kind of been that like big velo guy. I remember hearing about him when he first got into high school. He was like upper 80s as a freshman, but I had him on my field. Yeah, the movement patterns and like he's definitely got some muscle in there, and the way he can still move that well while being that strong right now, and the way the arm works, like you said, it was really impressive. And he struggled maybe a little bit in his first inning with strikes, but in his second inning was really good. So I think he is going to continue to get better as he continues to harness his mechanics and his arm strength and continue to throw more strikes and get the off speed going, because he showed a pretty good slider too. He's got a chance to really, really pop here soon, I think.
And it's interesting because, like, how much will he pitch this spring at Stevenson? I don't know. Like, they've got a lot of guys, and a lot of like well-known guys that have thrown quality varsity innings for them over the past couple of years. So we'll see kind of like what his progression is, because he also plays the outfield. But I love the call out, Gavin, because I think he's got one of the higher ceilings in the class. And really just excited to see what his future holds.